Hi, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of this freaking show. The weekly podcast with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. I am your host, Travis D, and alongside me, as always,
I'm Awkward Colin.
And Geek Cast Joe.
I love the suspense that you're building for your intro.
I was beginning to have some anxiety.
I spaced there.
That was like walking down like a long ass hallway to get to that door you really don't want it open yet, and then as soon as you do, boom, there it is. So thank you for that, Colin.
I'm into it.
I did. I liked it. You literally created an awkward moment before you introduced yourself. Oh shit! How you guys doing tonight? Good? Well? Bad?
Yeah.
Where we at? You guys good?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tremendous.
I mean, whenever you guys are focused enough to do this, please let me know.
I just
sorry.
The constant zoning out is really good for people to be entertained.
I'm fully here.
You folks
present.
Are you here now? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here now.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm glad we all fucking decided to show up.
No, good. That's so you're doing glad.
Physically showed up, but not mentally showed up.
Yeah, well, we're mentally not here. No, I got it. No, I'm doing good too. We really don't have anything planned for tonight, huh? Just a lot of babbling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You bet.
I like babbling.
Babbling's always good. To start out the babbling, I got to admit to being a liar. I still never backed anything on Kickstarter.
Oh, bummer.
I was going to, and I mean, it's nothing against anything on Kickstarter. I just kept thinking to myself, like, is it worth spending the money right now?
No.
You know,
the answer to that is almost always no.
Yeah, I mean, like I did find that awesome. It was like a pro wrestling comic book thing that was probably the top thing that I really enjoyed, and I was so close to sending them like $75 for like these and they're like books. I guess they're not really. I don't know if they're like comic books, but they're like it's like 60 pages of stories.
Wow.
So I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know if it's like a fucking comic novel rather than just like a shorthand book. I can't explain it because it says something like when you buy 3 of the books, you get like 180 pages of content or some shit like that. It's like I mean, I wanted to look more into it, but I kept thinking like to really spend the money. I don't know if I can do that right now, but maybe somewhere down the road, I may still invest in this.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna contact a guy and talk with him, but hopefully get him on the show because between Joey, your love of comics and my love of pro wrestling and Colin's love of sitting there in silence while we talk to people who love those things, it can make for a great show. So I'm gonna talk with them.
I ain't gonna lie. Most of the time when we're talking to people or I'm not talking, I'm going through my facts.
I think the biggest thing I noticed with like our interview process and everything, maybe we need to work on this, is we keep stealing each other's questions.
I'm just gonna work on coming up with better questions.
Right? Like you need to come out with like those like ballpark like right field fucking questions like we sit there and be like, so I mean I understand you started this novel and this and the other thing, and then just Joey out of nowhere, what's your shoe size?
How do you feel about the fact that the McDonald's Chicken Selects use the same breading as the 99-cent chicken nuggets that Burger King used to sell?
I like that.
Personally, I think it's great because I loved those damn nuggets, and Burger King changed the recipe. So
you know, Joey, I want you to literally save that question for a freaking curious segment at the end of our next guest.
I will do that.
Yeah. I think our next guest is going to be the guy who unfortunately couldn't make it on last week.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I got to talk with him again. I hope he doesn't think we're mad at him because I know he emailed me and I haven't responded yet, and I'm kind of a dick for that.
You're fine.
Yeah, I didn't like it really. I didn't notice it until earlier when I was going through like all my emails, and I got like 3 different emails now. You know, I got my personal email, and then I got this freaking show's email, and now I got just freaking wrestling's email and stuff like that. So every day I'm going through like 3 different like um email addresses, and it just gets all confusing and shit like that. But you know, that's what it is. So
I've got about 8.
right? I mean, it gets so much. I mean, it's crazy. Like back like when I was in college and shit like that, like I had like, you know, the classroom one that I never looked at. And maybe that's why I don't have a college degree right now. But I just never did. You know, I like, I don't know. I guess I'm more of a centralized person. I need to branch out more because I look at my personal email like maybe once every other day and I got like 40 some odd emails from random shit. Surprisingly, it hasn't been a lot of spam. Which is awesome, but it is a lot of like advertisement shit from like Groupon, fucking like the Indeed, Snag a Job, shit like that. But anyways, yeah.
Talking about college emails, the thing that pisses me off about that is that they just go and delete it, like the emails in it. At least for me.
The school deletes it?
Yeah, or like the server deletes it after a while. And it's really weird.
Yeah, I wonder why I would do that. That doesn't make sense. I mean, what if you missed it or something? And then they're like, "Well, we emailed you." I was like how do I know that?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they stay there for a long while, but then it's like just up in the blue. One day it's deleted.
Now, does it get deleted if it only stays in your inbox, or do you put it onto a folder?
I'm pretty sure it's just completely deleted. So
that's so goofy.
Interesting.
I actually am. Actually, tonight I'm going to be starting my new online courses for my new online certificate I'm going to achieve. So I'm really excited for that. Yeah, I'm going to become a certified nutritionist and personal trainer.
Ooh, good for you.
I know, right? Yeah, and I know people who know me who are listening to this are thinking like, really, Travis, personal training? I'm not doing it for the personal training certificate. Just to let everyone know. The only reason I'm taking these certificate classes are because it's going to help me understand nutrition a lot better. It's going to help me structure my workouts a lot better. And also, it was only $5.
That's fantastic.
So I mean, yeah. So when this is all done and I'm at the end of it, I get to print out my fucking certificate. I'm gonna hang it on the wall right next to my notary certificate, my ministry certificate, my marital license certificate. I mean, it's gonna be a wall of, hey, look what I can do online.
Nice.
Yeah. So I mean, when you sit there and you look at somebody who's like, oh man, how'd you get all the certificates? Literally, it cost me $50 to do all that. And there are people who go to college for that shit. Not jab at you in any way, Joey.
No, it's fine. My job is much more comprehensive than your marriage license.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, dude, you could fucking like, you could be like an epic cult leader without being a cult leader.
Damn
I mean, like a nice cult leader way, like a Sunday.
What Joe doesn't tell us is he's actually is a cult leader.
Yes,
that's his other podcast that we don't know about.
Manson 2.0. It's like what? No, but yeah. I mean, I don't get me wrong, Joey. Like I am no way comparing what I have to what you're doing because you have to go through a lot of shit because you're going to do a lot more with what you're going to get than what I do with mine.
Right.
Literally, I just gotta stand up there, marry 2 people, and then drink beer for the rest of the night.
That's true.
You gotta form an entire sermon every single week, and that's just like one of many things I assume you have to do.
Oh yeah.
Is like a sermon a page or 2 long?
It can be. Mine is I usually go for about 2,000 to 3,000 words. So about 10 pages.
Gotcha.
Oh God.
Double spaced.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things that when it comes to like when I do public speaking and shit like that, granted, again, completely different than what a sermon is. Because with a sermon you really have to know your facts about shit. Like, you have to go up there. You have to say, okay, so you're going to talk about this section of the Bible per se. You got to know which chapter or which verse you're going to use to make your point come across. I don't know if I could ever do something like that, because if I was to be like a priest, pastor, minister, or whatever it is, I would want to go up there and I want to say, this is what I believe it is. And I'm going to give you like my opinions and like use so many analogies. That's one thing I realize about myself. I use a lot of analogies when I explain shit to people. But
Nothing wrong with that.
like it's like weird analogies. Like I'm trying to remember the fucking analogy I used the other day. I don't know. It's like somebody was. I can't even explain it. I'm not even going to take much time to try to even explain it because I can't fucking remember. I knew it was so goofy. Like they were talking about work, and like I compared it to like a ham sandwich.
Nice.
Yeah, it was something like, I mean, like I'm like, it's delicious, but you know you want more. It was some goofy thing, and I realized I do that a lot when I fucking talk. Every time I fucking talk to somebody, it's like I always try to be like, I always try to find that one moment where their like eyes get open and like there's like a beam of light that shines down on me, like, holy shit. Sometimes I don't get those moments, but they do happen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
there we go.
Sorry.
No, you're fine, man. No, I was just fucking with you. So what do you guys do over the weekend? What happened here? Where's the fun at?
Let's see. Friday night, stayed up till 3 a.m. doing homework. To get up at 9, to go to my dad's and go to my grandma's. Then to go out to Joliet to pick up a computer. Then to come back home and go with the girlfriend to look at new cars. And then today was more of a relaxed day. We went shopping and then relaxed around the house more. So
Nice.
Oh yeah. How are you liking your apartment or your what is it called? Is it a duplex?
I guess it would be
Duplex.
considered duplex.
How is your duplex?
I'm enjoying it. I got to get used to the sound. It's right on 50, so there's kind of a lot of traffic compared to like residential street.
Mm-hmm.
And you got the semis, which you don't really have on residential streets either. So,
yeah. Do you hear the train a lot or no?
Some nights. I think one time I heard it like 3 times within an hour, which was really fucking weird. But
yeah, see the thing that's goofy when it comes to like the trains, and like, and I don't know if it's like a little bit better for where you're at compared to the train tracks to where the trains were when I was living in the apartment. So there's a law that the train has to blast their horn every time they come to a crossing. Every single time. That's a law that they have to abide by. Every time you come to a crossing, you have to blow your horn. Now that you get some trains who literally go like then that's it. But then you get those assholes that are like for a throughout the entire fucking length of the train through that fucking crossing. So luckily, I think you're at least a little bit farther away to where they don't have to do it. But if you are hearing it, it's kind of just being a dick, just blasting their horn repeatedly. Especially when you get those long ass ones, and like you hear, like I remember, like when I first lived there, I heard the first horn go off because I was probably within like maybe 200 feet of that fucking crossing. Maybe not 200 feet. I lied. Maybe about, I'll say 200 yards. That sounds a lot more logical. So about 2 football fields away from the first crossing, and I heard it. It was fucking loud. But as soon as that wakes you up, maybe about, as it's going, there's another crossing and then another crossing, because then there's like 5 crossings in Peotone, so you hear every single one till that train's gone. So my favorite was always the Metros because it literally just went straight through. So that's my rant about train horns.
I dig it.
Yeah, it is all a matter of getting used to it too. So
yeah, and you will. I remember Jason used to live at the house next to you, and he said when he first moved in there, he said the roads were always loud and everything. Eventually, you just kind of zoned them out, and they actually probably become a little more soothing because you got that it's like a white noise at a certain point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, at least it's just a road. Sometimes a train, and it's not like a shitty neighbor. At least it's that.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I don't really hear them, and at times I'm like, I hope I'm not too loud, that they hear me.
Mm-hmm.
Which I really don't think I am, because I sit in my living room, and it's not like I'm blaring it. So
yeah. Did you ever get furniture? Or are you still living on lawn chairs?
No, I got furniture. Got the couches from Alan.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, can't use the corner piece. I mean, I have it in the room. It's blocking my front door. I have no intentions of using it unless I'm moving furniture. So.
Oh, was it too long to actually use the two pieces together?
I could, but the one couch on the back wall sticks in front of the doorway. So
I got you.
I like the setup right now. So it's comfortable.
Gotcha.
It's homey.
It's homey.
Mm-hmm.
Joey, what'd you do this weekend?
My father-in-law came to visit, and so everything. We did all sorts of things. We hiked some trails over at the local forest preserve, and visited the library, and what else did we do? We ate at some good restaurants. We drove over to another town nearby that has a 250-foot waterfall, which is fantastic. Had some great ice cream. So it was a good time.
No, we mean by great ice cream.
I mean some of the best ice cream I've ever had. Like Oberweis can suck it.
Is it like a mom and pop Sunday shop?
Kind of, except for it's like it's more like these two guys. So it used to be that, and it was going to close down and kind of just be sold out to like Edie's or something, or Breyers. And basically two guys, it would be like if you and I just decided, you know what, we're dairy farmers now because we don't want this place to close down. And in this scenario, we have the money to do this.
Oh yeah, of course.
And so these two guys, they learned how to be dairy farmers, and they started making cheese and stuff, and then they were like, you know what, let's make ice cream. So now they sell ice cream, and they've got like 9 or 10 different flavors that are all wonderful. They've got some really amazing cheeses. Their milk is in the local grocery stores, and it's kind of rebooted the economic activity of this town nearby. So it's neat. It's really cool.
That's cool.
Nice.
So and their ice cream is tremendous. So.
Yeah, see, I like local shit. I like family owned, mom and pop owned thing. I actually was talking to this truck driver at my job Thursday, I think, and he said that he was from it was a western Chicago town. What the fuck was it? Skokie.
Oh, okay.
Skokie, Illinois.
Yeah. So he said he was from Skokie. I've never been to Skokie. I have no idea what Skokie looks like, but he said that he doesn't get a lot of country or suburban, small, quiet suburban living there. I don't know what Skokie's like. I don't know what Skokie's like really. How far is Skokie from Chicago, Joey?
If we were about 5 minutes further north, we would be in Skokie. We would have been in Skokie, where we were living on the north side.
So is Skokie still more like city living then?
Yeah, it's much more. It's actually it's a lot like living in Lafayette, Indiana, is how I would describe it. So it's
okay.
It's kind of suburban, but it's not the suburbs. It's more like a small city in and of itself.
Okay, yeah, because I do know he's told me that you're not allowed to have bonfires there. You're absolutely not allowed to have a bonfire there. And I was telling him, like, because he asked me where I lived and shit like that. I think he was hitting on me, but whatever. I told him I lived like an hour south of where I work, which I do. And he asked me like why I come up here and everything. I just told him like, like when you live in like a country type town, there's really not a lot of work out here. Like you either have to find like one of the like industrial parks, or you have to go up north. And I looked into industrial parks around here, and unfortunately, I'm not gonna make enough money to live the lifestyle I live, working in an industrial park. The warehouses,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And plus, I already did that, and I get bored of jobs easily, so I always want to learn something new, something different. So I had to go up north.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just making conversation with me while he's trusting me fix. He's asking me, he's like, why don't you just move up north? There's a lot of nice towns out this way. You could go to Naperville. You could go to Waukegan, which I don't know why he fucking said Waukegan, because Waukegan's too far north for me to even fucking want to travel.
Yeah.
And I just told him the biggest thing I love about Peotone is knowing that the next town to me is like 6 miles in any direction. Or was it it's like 6 miles to Monique, 6 miles to Mantino,
Yeah.
9 miles to Beecher, and 10 to Wilmington. Like there isn't you cross the street and you're in your next town.
Right.
There is separation, and that's what I like. There's like
I agree. I like not having. It's not like super far. Like if you go down south where it's super far away.
Yeah.
But it's not fucking on top of each other.
Yeah. You're not surrounded by all this population, but if you wanted to go to a movie, you could either go 20 minutes north, 20 minutes south, and you're at a movie. If you want to go to a mall, you can go 35 minutes north to a big ass mall in Orland, or you go 20 minutes south to the smaller mall in Bradley. There's a lot of shit to do around the area, but at the same time, it's not congesting the town that I live in, and that's what I really enjoy about it. Now, granted, I do agree with what my brother was saying is that Peotone needs to grow a little, or else it's going to start crumbling. There have been too many businesses that are in Peotone that just fell apart. We don't have a hardware store anymore. One of the bars closed down, which I get. We don't need another bar.
Well, I think we have plenty of bars here.
Yeah, yeah. No one's sneezing at that. I just wish it was any other bar, but Second Street and shit. Fucking Throwbacks closed down, and I'd be less upset about it. But we used to have an auto parts store. We don't have that anymore. We used to have a hardware store. We don't have that anymore. It's just like.
Well, the only reason we lost the auto parts because of fire, right?
Yeah. It caught on fire, and then they moved into the hardware store and shit like that. And that's another thing too, because people don't know how to fucking handle fucking flames. What idiot sets a fucking dumpster on fire? Maybe I think. But yeah, I was going out to my dad's, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, with my brother, and my dad lives an hour south of me, so it's even more boo-fooey. My dad lives in a town that's similar to Fowler, which I love that too. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, no, I think Fowler's great.
Yeah.
Honestly, Peotone's great, but go on.
Yeah, it's like
that's why you got to move here, Joe.
Yeah. Joey, they have so many churches. They're opening a new church in Peotone.
How are there?
Peotone, I think
they gotta use the church they need, or the churches they have.
Yeah, they got. I know they have a Baptist, a Methodist, a Catholic, couple, a Protestant one. There's a one that was in the school that's moving into their own building, maybe by next year, or something like that. You have options, man. You got so many options for churches, and plus on your downtime, fucking cook at Firepit Bar and Grill.
That's true. I could do that.
Absolutely, you could do that. You could bring out a burger to somebody, and then someone be like, "Oh, Pastor Joe," and you're like, "What's up?"
That's right. Give me my $6.99.
That's right, and you can hand him a beer. And you'd be like, "My pastor just gave me a fucking beer." You could cheers him.
To Monday and Wednesday.
Your Wednesday.
On Sundays, all we have is crackers and grape juice.
What the fuck?
Not here, not at Firepit. At my other job.
Yeah, the other job. Oh shit! But yeah, Joey, Peotone would be perfect for you guys. Maddie could work at the school if it doesn't get shut down by then.
Yeah, no kidding.
Be wonderful, you guys. But no, I mean, and that's what I was explaining to the guy. I was like, I just love my downtown. Like, if it sucks driving an hour for work, but I'll take that rather than fucking moving somewhere and living somewhere else. Because as much as people say they hate fucking Peotone, it's not the town that sucks. It's the people in it. It's the people. It's the people that make the town shitty. And I'm not talking about like the old timers that live here who are like, we're set in our ways. It's the assholes who go to this fucking high school that came here from shittier neighborhoods. Are like, oh my god, this place is way too nice. Let me bring drugs and suspensions. It's like I wish the cops could just fucking
Kill
beat them or kill them. I was going more of a, hey, let's punish you with a quick night stick.
Okay, sorry, I jumped to the more violent ways. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Count took that turn rather sharply.
Yeah.
I'm trying to cruise to the country, and Count's doing fucking donuts. See, again, an analogy. Look at that shit. Anyways.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I mean, like, it's, I don't know.
Yeah, I totally get it. The town I'm living in now is going through a lot of the same issues where businesses are shutting down. It's too expensive to bring new business in. Volunteer services are dying out because there's nobody young enough to do them who can afford to live in town. So
I did have an idea. I was telling my brother about, and I think he kind of agreed with me. I mean, for being a fucking hillbilly, I think he liked his idea. And tell me what you think about this. Okay, Colin, I know but Joey, that small little white building that's in 2nd Street that's like a small ass diner?
Yes.
Like maybe, okay. I mean, it used to be like Mayberry's, and now it became the Lucky Sheep.
Yeah.
Okay, Colin, you know what I'm talking about. So it's a very small diner. You put like maybe 35 people in this fucking diner.
Wow.
Okay. Very small. So it closed down because the owners are moving down south. Again, another business that shut down.
When did that happen?
Last week they shut down.
20 minutes ago, he gave me a call.
Yeah, like it
hey,
just
you got to tell your listeners on the podcast. They need to know.
Yeah, they sent me a tweet. So they closed down. So now there's no restaurant there. Now I'm not sure if the waitress, because I think the original plan was the waitress that was working for them may have been buying it. I'm not sure if that went through or not. But as of right now, the diner is not there anymore. I thought what should go there, and I think this is a great fucking idea, and I know Joey would like it. Con, I don't think you will.
Already on board. I don't even know what it is.
Okay, get this. You ready? You ready for this, Joey? I'm going to tell you what this is. Coffee shop.
Yeah.
I love coffee shops.
Think about it. It's a small building that should never be a diner. Literally, you could put like maybe 35 people in there. Maybe 35 people. You can't establish a great diner that way. So what you do is you take out all the booths and everything that's in there, and you put small little fucking tables in. Okay, you know what you do? You get high-speed internet because now it's a Java lounge. And you don't sell, like, it's not a Starbucks, it's not a fucking Dunkin' Donuts or a fucking Tim Hortons or any other fucking coffee, okay? It's a Java shop that you go and get a cappuccino or a fucking iced coffee or whatever like that. You tear out the fucking kitchen because you don't need it anymore, and you push it back. Now you've grown the building a little bit more because you took out the fucking grill and shit, and literally you can make your espressos and cappuccinos there and shit like that. And it's a place that people could go and enjoy themselves. They don't have to, okay? They don't have to sit inside all day and be like, oh, I need coffee. Let's go to fucking Dunkin' Donuts. No, you go to your local coffee shop.
I think local coffee shops are awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's an idea that it's not a bar that we already have enough of. It's just a place for like younger kids, older guys, the fucking cops who like coffee, who can just stop in and like, hey, let me get a cup of coffee. Let me get a fucking cappuccino. Let me get a fucking espresso because I went to college up north and I wear V-necks. Whatever. I mean, like...
Well, what they need to do is do what like they have a lot of in Washington are just like the closet coffee stands. It's literally just a small little like one-person building for coffee.
Yeah, just something small there. You know what? They got that little patch of grass that's right there on the south side of the building. If you clean that up a little, maybe put some cinder blocks down or some shit, you can have like a little patio where you can sit at a small little table and drink coffee and enjoy the fucking day.
Absolutely.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's an idea for a guy to move here, be a pastor at a church, and open a coffee shop with his wife. I'm just saying.
I just think that'd be awesome. We'd have to keep the kitchen at that point, though, or at least the oven, so that we could like bake cupcakes and stuff. But that'd be fine.
Oh, no, you don't do cupcakes. No, no cupcakes. What are you doing?
Well, my wife wouldn't want to do it if I didn't have cupcakes.
You can't. It's a coffee shop, not a bakery, man.
I like a little
Stop.
snack. I like a little snack with my coffee.
You want a scone? You can make scones.
All right, that's fine.
Okay, there you go. Make a coffee like dessert with it, but not cupcakes. Muffins. You can make muffins.
Yeah, muffins would be fine.
Muffins would be good. Scones. Whatever British bullshit treats that go with coffee, or even tea.
Mm-hmm.
Have tea there too.
Totes.
Yeah. If we were sponsored by a certain strongest coffee in the world, I'd mention them in this whole analogy, but I'm not going to because they don't sponsor me.
It's true.
But you know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm kidding. We can mention him. Death Wish. That'd be an awesome fucking startup, Death Wish. Like, hey, we're going to supply coffee here, and we're going to sell Death Wish coffee to people.
I would love to do that. I think that'd be so cool.
Right?
It'd be a lot of dead people in Peotone, probably, but it'd be fine.
Oh, God, can you imagine some 90-year-old behind the wheel after drinking a cup of Death Wish coffee? Holy shit, they crash into 2nd Street again.
I actually went by there. It took me forever to go by there, but I actually saw the little dent they made into the wall.
Which one? There's 2 of them.
I only saw one.
Did you see the one that's by the bar or the one that's by the back room?
The one just in the front.
Okay, so there's, like how you walk in, there's like the bar itself, and then it's like the back room, like where the pool tables were.
Yeah.
The 2 different vehicles crashed into 2 different spots in the front of that building. The one, like,
I only saw one. So
did you see like the window that had like the plywood over it?
I don't remember.
Okay, so yeah, so closer to the diner that Joey's new coffee shop's going to be at. There's a window that got broken out. There's a plywood board over that. That was the first hit that building took. The next hit was at the opposite side where the bar is, that the big dent is in the building. It got hit twice by 2 different old people who don't know what a fucking brake is. Blew my mind. But I digress. That's enough about my town. Joey.
Yes.
Tell us about dentistry.
Yeah. So, I was learning all sorts of new stuff about dental technology this weekend, just because. And, apparently they've developed the ability to, like, how now normally you go into the dentist and you might have a cavity or something and they have to drill it out and it's horrible?
Yeah.
They've got a way to do it now where they can use lasers to destroy the cavity. I don't know what the technical term is, but the rotting or bad whatever's bad in your teeth, they can use lasers to destroy it, and they've figured out a way to based on the wavelength of the laser, they can actually trick your nervous system into believing you're not feeling any pain. So you don't have to get the Novocaine shot. If you, for example, like if you had cavities on both sides of your mouth, it could be a 1-day procedure now instead of like a 2-day procedure. So you're not missing as much work. Yeah. So lasers, that's one thing that's cool. Another thing I learned about is apparently they've found better ways to do root canals and stuff. And so normally a dentist who's kind of drilling into your teeth to put in like an implant or something. So first of all, they've got to like take a scan of your teeth.
Yeah.
And then they normally would have to send off to some other company to make you a new tooth. that company would have to make it and send it back. They'd have to fit it, make sure it fits, all this stuff, right?
Okay.
Well, now what they can do is they can do all that in their office and have a CNC machine, is what it's called, a mill basically. Cut your tooth out, your new tooth, your implant, right there on site, and so that's another. Basically, they can do everything all in one day, just by producing your teeth right there. What's another thing I learned about today? Oh, apparently, when they drill now to into your jawbones to put the thing that they're going to screw your implant onto or pop your implant onto.
Yep.
I guess a lot of dentists just kind of freehand it. They don't really they don't measure twice, cut once. They're just like, that's a good place to put a tooth.
That sounds reassuring.
Right? So what they figured out now is they can, using all of this amazing kind of X-ray and MRI technology, they can pinpoint exactly where they need to drill to put your tooth, to put your implant, and basically increase the accuracy of what's going on. And yeah, so it's really cool stuff. It's really amazing what they can do now that they couldn't do even 10 years ago. So, and if you're curious about your dentist and whether or not they offer these kinds of things, apparently you can just ask. And if they're not a jerk, they'll tell you the truth about it and say, yeah, we got this machine in that helps us do this thing that makes us better dentists. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, see, I've always loved going to a dentist. It was almost like a treat to go because, well, the dentist I went to gave you fucking laughing gas. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, it didn't take much for me to go to the fucking dentist. So it was like, oh god. But no, I can't wait to get my insurance and shit through my work, so I can start going back and getting my teeth cleaned and shit. Cause I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired of not being 100% pretty because of my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I'm kidding. I know I'm 100%. I'm totally 100% pretty. Let's go. So your father-in-law's a dentist?
No, he sells dental equipment to dentists.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, all right then.
Mm-hmm.
Did he try selling you dental equipment? Is that what was going on?
No. He was just telling us about all this cool stuff they can do now.
It's like one of the things you just go to him like, Dad, I think I'm going to be a dentist instead. And he just hands you a card. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you call me. We'll talk. That's cool.
Yeah.
What else did you want to talk about? Oh, it. What's new?
So I've been reading the book, and I'm almost done with it. And I couldn't be more excited for the movie, I don't think. And the trailer looks amazing. I know we talked about it a little bit, I think last week, but I just want to reiterate that from what I've seen so far, they're doing a tremendous job of keeping really, really fairly accurate to the book.
Mm-hmm.
And while doing a few, I think, needed updates. Like, for example, in the trailer, we see them sitting around a slide projector.
Yeah.
And in the book, they're actually just they gather around like a photo album. And so I think the slide projector is a better choice. You know?
Yeah.
So that's
because in the TV movie, it was a photo album, wasn't it? Oh.
Yeah. So, and I got no problem with that. I think that's an okay update, as far as I'm concerned. So, and I think it's really cool too that they're splitting it into two movies, so that you can get, hopefully they can make them both right.
Yeah.
And it'll be really good. And the other thing about it that is neat is, it's another thing I didn't really notice is that's really risky right now, right? You've got all of these huge blockbuster franchises that are basically guaranteed. everyone's going to go see a Marvel movie, even if we know it's going to suck. Everyone's going to go see the Justice League movie, even though DC hasn't put out anything watchable that wasn't animated in like 40 years. I'm just taking digs at DC. I don't care. What else? If there were another Harry Potter, frickin' Fantastic Beasts is that's like a 40-page book, and they're making 5 movies because they know that people will go watch that. So
they're making 5 movies for a 40-page book.
Yeah. Yes, they are. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty crazy, and to basically come in with a remake. It is a remake, but a remake of a movie that most people aren't glad that they saw in the first place because it just made them afraid of clowns.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty ballsy, and not just to make a remake of that movie, but to say, to do it right, we're going to actually make 2 of them. So hopefully you like the first one.
Yeah.
I love that there are studios still taking risks.
Yep. I like the fact that I like how they are going to they plan on doing it like the TV one. I know I keep going back to this, but I just like that concept. Mm-hmm. Because they do the kids the first movie, and then the second movie is all adults.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, it is one of my favorite movies. And it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Curry does a great job.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. It's like it is the only horror movie I've actually watched. Actually watched and enjoyed, I guess. I've seen other horror movies, but I don't own it. But if I owned it, I'd probably watch it one day. Like, hey, it's really bright outside. There's people coming over. Fucking turn it on. I won't do it at night though. Fuck that shit.
And you know what? I watched that trailer that day, and then I was looking through my movies. I don't own it. I'm so disappointed.
I know I used to own the VHS of it. I do know that. I just haven't ever bought the DVD. I mean, I probably would never buy the DVD because, again, it is a horror movie. But, you know me and my horror movies. Mm-hmm. I'm a bitch. But no, I'm actually excited, or I guess not excited, but I was worried about them remaking a movie like that, but it seems like they're really trying to follow everything well. It's like you guys are saying. I mean, they're trying to keep it as similar as possible. But I do hear a lot of people don't like the way the clown looks.
Yeah, he's. In my opinion, I don't really like the way he looks. I'm willing to give him a chance. I mean, for more than just a snippet of seeing him on screen.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's kind of how I feel too.
I got to give it a chance before I can fully judge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It looks right now, based on the small glimpses we've seen, I think it looks more like the Queen of Hearts from the recent Alice in Wonderland movies. Than
I can see that.
So that may be distracting, but I don't know. I'll still give it a shot. I'm with you. I want more movies like this, so I'm going to give it my money. Even if it's bad.
You need more cowbell?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I always worry about remakes, but at the same time, I don't know. Fuck. I don't know. How do you guys feel about remakes? Did they have? I mean, do you like them more when the exact replica of the original, or do you like when they alter and change things? Like,
I got to think about
like,
that.
like I'll give you an example, and keep in mind this is like it's not the greatest comparison, but it's the only one that kind of comes to my mind right now as I'm trying to think of it. So, like okay, so the Ashton Kutcher movie, Guess Who? Right? Okay. So that's a remake from Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. I think that was the original was called.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with Sidney Poitier.
Yeah. Now, now I could be actually wrong because I don't think this is right. They switched the races, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, do you think that made the movie better, worse, or didn't change anything whatsoever on it?
I think it made it totally worse because it defeated the whole point of the first movie. For whatever reason, society has very little problem with white men dating black women. But a black man dating a white woman is a huge issue, even now for lots of people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with it. I don't know that anybody here necessarily has any problems with it, but it's just and so the whole point of that movie was that by the end of it, the white parents who are supposed to be these cool progressive types realize that, oh man, we were kind of pretty sucky to you because society says we're supposed to, and we learned a lesson. You're actually a cool guy and like a doctor and stuff. We shouldn't judge books by their covers. So I don't know. It's just it totally changed the dynamic, and it makes me uncomfortable, and it changed it from like a fairly serious movie into just kind of a laugh-a-minute cheap romantic comedy. You know, that's how I feel about
it. Yeah. No, and I get that, and that's I guess where I'm kind of coming from. It's like it's if they made, let's say they made the exact same movie, like everything about the remake of Guess Who is the exact same, except the roles of the races were reversed. So it was the same concept of the original, black guy, white girl, white family. If it was that, but the exact same movie, do you think that would have changed people's opinions on the movie?
Maybe. I don't know. I think it would be more interesting to watch.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I don't know. It's sort of it's how do you take the original material just as seriously, but make it work with the new setup. And that's where I think they lost it on that particular remake, is that they didn't take the original source material as seriously as they should have.
Yeah. It's like they lost the real concept of what the movie was about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think if there's a good remake out there that is like does it.
Ooh, you know what is a good remake? 12 Angry Men.
Yes.
I think there's like 3 of them, and they're all pretty good.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that 12 Angry Men movie.
Right. It's just it's so good. I like when like some of my favorite TV shows, and I can't. Oh God, what was the one? Psych. Yes. When they did like 12 Angry Men, but in like the in like the TV shows, because it was Psych, right? Who did that? Monk. So they did it in Monk, and they've done it in a couple other shows too, and it's just fun when they take like those great movies back then, and not only they're making movie remakes, but they're making TV shows out, things like that. I'm going to look into more of those because I want to have a show about that, about old movies that they not plagiarize, but
should we try and set up a remake episode?
Yes,
I
need to. Are you talking about like how we used to do with Clint and all that? Are we talking about something different? Okay.
Well, I mean, it's just a movie where we talk about remakes.
Yes, I want to do that. That's exactly what we're talking about. Yeah, so I want to do that. And since you accidentally brought it up, and I did bring it up, I have been talking to Clint, and he is going to come on and we're gonna have another movie remake episode.
Okay, good.
He hasn't told me his idea because he did win the last one because Colin's iPhone believes that the guest should win and not the host, but whatever. Um, but so we are giving the win to Clint. Clint, he does have an idea. He hasn't given it to me yet, nor do I want it because I don't want any fair advantage to where it looks like if I do win, it's because of this. I want to win fairly, and I want to win because I am better than you guys. So we're going to talk with Clint more about it. We're going to get him to come on, and we're going to do that all over again because those are fun. They are exciting to do. I do enjoy doing them. So hopefully we could get that scheduled soon. Also, you remember I was telling you a while back how I lost like the list of like how we rated everything, like the movie titles and everything. We did it with Fear on the horror movies and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it. Yeah.
Fantastic.
The only problem is I think we've done 3 of them, and I only have 2 lists.
Huh.
So I do have the list from the first time where we did the sequels, and then I do have the list of the horror ones. And oh yeah, it's all the way there at the bottom. I wonder if any of these movies come out yet. Did John Wick 2 come out yet?
Yep.
I think so.
Anyone want to look up what IMDb rates it real quick? Can I get an idea of what's going on here?
8.1 out of 10.
Not bad.
Oh wow, yeah, we all gave it a 7. What about Wolverine 3?
Logan?
Yeah, Logan. I guess we could have called it Logan instead. I went with Wolverine 3.
I thought that was hilarious.
8.5.
8.5.
Yep.
Yeah, I gave it a 7. Colin gave it a 5, and Joey gave it a 6.
I really rated that low. The good trailer must not have been out yet.
Oh god, no! This was way before trailers, man. This was before October.
Oh, okay.
Because we did the one with Fear in October during this freaky show.
Yeah. I remember
Yeah. So we're definitely gonna set that up maybe in a couple of weeks or something like that. Probably next week if we can't get a guest to get scheduled. We'll talk about some remakes and stuff like that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Do we want to continue going through these movies?
No. I want to do that later because we gotta get going on your segment now.
Oh, is it about that time?
Oh, it is about that time. Well, what time? How long have we been talking for now?
About 50 minutes.
Oh yeah, Colin, it's definitely.
Oh no, actually about 54 minutes. But go on.
Your
Hey.
Yeah, Colin, it's definitely your time.
That works.
I don't want you to think we're rushing you. You take all the time in the world because Derek edits this. That's his job.
I plan.
Go ahead.
So we'll be at the end of our main segment like we usually are. Welcome back, everyone, to This Frickin' State of Mind. This is the segment where we go through each state of the United States and we go in alphabetical order. We have made it through all the states, and now, well, not all. We haven't gone through all the states. We have gone all the states up to our current state of Minnesota. So obviously we still have some more to go. But moving right along, like I say every week, I get these from the internet. Can't believe everything on the internet. If you don't believe me, go look them up. Do more research on them if they interest you. And we'll get started. The Mall of America, Minnesota, in Bloomington, is the size of 78 football fields. 9.5 million square feet. Holy shit. That is a big-ass field. Or store. Well, actually, a group of stores, since it's a mall. So, then we get inventions that have been were created in Minnesota. We have masking and Scotch tape, Wheaties cereal, Bizquick, HMOs, the Bunt Pan,
Really?
Avita beauty products, and the Green Giant vegetables. The St. Louis Seaway opened in 1959, allowing ongoing ocean ships to reach Duluth. Ships can go, wow. Ships from the ocean can get all the way to Duluth?
Interesting. How? Yeah, that makes sense. Through the canals with the Great Lakes, right?
Yeah, it had to be. All I keep thinking, like I was going to say canals, but I keep wanting to say the Panama Canal, but that's not up north.
Right.
Minneapolis is home to the oldest continuing running theater, the Old Log Theater, and the largest dinner theater, the Chanhassen Dinner Theater in the country. The original name of the settlement that became St. Paul, Minnesota. So St. Paul is a pretty well-known place in Minnesota. Was Pig's Eye. It was named for the French-Canadian whiskey trader Pierre Pig's Eye Parent, who had led squatters to the settlement. Could you imagine if it was still considered called Pig's Eye?
I think it should be.
I think so too. Where are you from? I'm from Pig's Eye, Minnesota.
That's so much better. And you know what? It sounds exactly like a town in Minnesota would be called.
Right?
I can see it. The world's largest pelican stands at the base of Mill Pond Dam on the Pelican River, right in downtown Pelican Rapids. It's a concrete statue that stands 15 and a half feet tall and was built in 1957.
Wow.
Minneapolis has a sculpture garden, and it is the largest urban sculpture garden in the country. Another, continuing on with Minneapolis, they have a famed skyway system that connects 52 blocks, nearly 5 miles of downtown, and makes it possible to live, eat, and work and shop without going outside. That is kind of really interesting. Didn't see any good pictures on it, but when I looked it up, still really interesting to know that they have 5 miles of that kind of stuff. So.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Minneapolis has more golfers per capita than any other city in the country. The climate-controlled Metrodome is the only facility in the country to host a Super Bowl, World Series, and a NCAA Final Four basketball championship.
Really?
Yep. Is the Final Four held at one location?
No, the Final Four, the semifinals. It's usually it has to be the home team, but it's two separate
so that
locations.
moves around too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The football, as far as I know, football is the only sport where the final championship game of the season isn't played at a home field of the two players. Everything else, I believe, is. Which I think baseball. I'm not sure if this is accurate or not, but I think baseball is planning on doing what the Super Bowl does and play the World Series games at a designated warmer climate stadium.
That's stupid.
And I could be, like I said, I could be wrong about that, but it does sound like something I heard.
Okay. Minnesota, as we talked earlier before the show, Minnesota has 90,000 miles of shoreline. And that is more than California, Florida, and Hawaii combined. Now, if you think about that, holy fucking shit.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota is a landlocked state. All those other states are bordering water. Hawaii, for fuck's sake, is an island.
Right.
Florida is a peninsula. then California has like one whole side of the fucking state on water. To say that it has more shoreline than 3 states combined, holy shit.
Yeah, that's really crazy. You gotta imagine how big Minnesota must be too.
Yeah.
For that to work.
Yeah. And the reason, if you guys are wondering why it is because they have lakes. So they're counting the lake's shoreline. So not necessarily as, I guess, some would consider being shore, but technically it is. So the nation's first Better Business Bureau was founded in Minneapolis in 1912.
Really?
Yep. The first open heart surgery and bone marrow transplant in the U.S. were done at the University of Minnesota. Bloomington and Minneapolis are the 2 farthest north latitude cities to ever host a World Series game. Why in 2 different cities? The same state.
Wait,
what
was that? Say that again.
It says Bloomington and Minneapolis, Minnesota are the furthest 2 north cities to host a World Series.
Really?
Does Minnesota even have a team?
Yeah, the Twins.
Oh yeah, duh.
I thought Minnesota. I thought the Twins were in like St. Paul though.
Oh.
Either. That's interesting. I do know that they have a new stadium. I don't know if the stadium moved, but
that might be it.
Yeah, because they used to have a. I think they used to have a dome up there, and then they.
It's probably the Metrodome.
Yeah, it might have been. I'm not. You're probably right. No,
yeah.
But yeah, no, I know they used to. Like I said, yeah, they do have a new stadium. It's not new. I think it was built like 2010. That's when it was. Yeah. Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome, Metropolitan Stadium, Griffith Stadium, National Park, and American League Park. So this is actually their 6th baseball field that they've had.
Major League Baseball field.
Major League Baseball field, yeah, the Minnesota Twins and stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
They're also known as the Twinkies, which is a delicious hostess treat.
Rochester, Minnesota, is home to the world's famous Mayo Clinic. The clinic is a major teaching and working facility. It is known worldwide for its doctors' expertise and newest methods of treatment. Interesting. For many years, the world's largest twine ball has sat in Darwin, Minnesota. And it weighs 17,400 pounds. It is 12 feet in diameter and was the creation of Francis A. Johnson. If anybody was ever wondering where Stapler came from, it came from Minnesota in the town of Spring Valley.
That's right.
The good old water skis were invented in Minnesota in 1922 by Ralph W. Samuelson, in which when he bent 2 8-foot-long pine boards using steam into skis, and was the first to ride behind a motorboat on a lake.
That's awesome.
Yep. The first children's department in a library is said to be that of the Minneapolis Public Library, which separated children's books from the rest of the collection in December of 1889. Here is a well-known appliance that is used in most households. The first automatic pop-up toaster was marketed in June of 1926 by McGraw Electric Company in Minneapolis. and was under the name of Toastmaster. And the original price that it sold for was $13.50. And back then, that would have been expensive. In 1952, on September 2nd, there was a 5-year-old girl who was the first patient to undergo a heart operation in which deep freezing technique was employed. Her body temperature, except for her head, was reduced to 79 degrees by Dr. Floyd Lewis, at the medical school of the University of Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Here's an interesting fact. The first aerial ferry was put into operation on April 9th, 1905. It goes over a small canal, over the ship canal between Duluth and the Minnesota Point. It had enough room to accommodate 6 automobiles, and the round trip took about 10 minutes. It has since changed then, and because basically it was almost like a lift. So, like a ski lift over the water. So that's what it had. It has since turned into a basically full spanning bridge that lifts up now. So
fantastic.
And this bridge can be raised to its full height of 135 feet in about a minute, and is raised about 5,000 times per year. It's about 390 feet long, and when the ships pass under it, they blow their horn, and the bridge people blow their horn back as well to either raise the bridge or just as a friendly salute. So,
how do they know which is which?
By the thing, long, short means raise the bridge, and then long, short is a friendly salute.
Gotcha.
Yep. And the horns that the bridge uses are actually locomotive horns. So,
nice.
And it's one of those bridges that are the graded rates.
Oh, yeah.
I hate those ones.
Yeah,
I always feel like it unnerving to drive over those. So, rollerblades were the first commercially successful inline roller skates. Minneapolis students Scott and Brennan Olson invented them in 1980 when they were looking for a way to practice hockey during the off-season.
Nice.
The blade was an ice hockey boot with 3 inline wheels instead of a blade.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, in 1919, a Minneapolis factory turned out the nation's first armored cars. Oh, everyone's loved Tonka truck, the yellow one. Were developed and continues to be manufactured in Minnetonka, Minneapolis. So, the Hormel Company of Austin marketed its first canned ham in 1926, and then introduced Spam in 1937.
Canned ham.
Yep. Introduced in 1963, the controlled data 6600, designed by Controlled Data Corp of Chippewa Falls, was the first supercomputer and was used by the military to simulate nuclear explosions and break Soviet codes. These computers were also used to model complex complex phenomena such as hurricanes in the galaxies. To me, those are two huge different things.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you guys feel that way, but
Hurricanes and galaxies?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Candy maker Frank C. Mars of Minnesota introduced the Milky Way candy bar in 1923. They marketed the Snickers bar in 1930 and introduced the 5-cent Three Musketeer bar in 1937. The original Three Musketeers bar contained 3 bars in one wrapper, each filled with a different flavored nougat. That's interesting.
Yeah, they should bring that back.
Yeah, I agree. Minnesota has one recreational boat per every 6 people, more than any other state.
Well, that makes sense. They got more water.
Yeah, so every 6 people, at least one of them has a boat.
Mm-hmm.
There are 201 mud lakes, 154 long lakes, and 123 rice lakes, commonly named in Minnesota. Interesting. The Hull Rust Mine in Hibbing, Minnesota, became the largest open pit mine in the world. Is an open pit mine just a quarry?
I don't know.
I think it is.
I don't know. I'm going to look it up here really quick.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so Minnesota's waters flow outward in 3 different directions. North to Hudson Bay in Canada, east to the Atlantic Ocean, and south to the Gulf of Mexico. It just can't make up its mind which way it really wants its water.
Nope.
He wants it all. He's so selfish.
Kelly is the birthplace and home of the world's largest Paul Bunyan statue. The kneeling Paul Bunyan is 20 feet tall. He might be the claimed 33 feet tall if he were standing. And when I first read this fact, it made me think. For all of you that are movies fans, and now even a TV show, the movie Fargo takes place in Minnesota. In Fargo, Minnesota. So, great movie. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out.
Fantastic.
Hibbing is the birthplace of the American bus industry. It sprang from bus acumen of Carl Wickman and Andrew Bus Andy Anderson.
Interesting.
Who opened the first bus line with one bus between the towns of Hibbing and Alice in 1914. And since then, this bus line has grown to become Greyhound lines. So
Wow.
Greyhound was birthed in Hibbing, Minnesota. Polaris Industries of Rosia invented the snowmobile. And then we have Alexander Anderson of Red Wing discovered the process to puff wheat and rice, giving us the indispensable rice cakes.
Damn, they
And
did
then-
everything there.
Right. And then to end our amazing journey through the great state of Minnesota, and an interesting one, and you guys should all think about this and learn about this, is in 1898, the Kingston rune stone was found on a farm, or on the farm of Olaf Oman near Alexandria. The Kingston rune stone carving allegedly tells the story of a band of Vikings in 1362. So,
Ooh.
yeah. So, I just want to say thank you to everyone for joining me this week in going through our great state of Minnesota. And come back next week to find out a little more about our next state. And everybody have a wonderful night.
I had no idea that Minnesota like did so much for like society as far as like the rollerblades and the mall and all. I mean, I knew about the mall, but fucking like there was actually a lot of shit about Minnesota I knew nothing about.
Right?
That was one of the most interesting ones too. I mean, like that's really fun. Cool. Good job, Colin.
Well, thank you.
I'm impressed.
He's gonna mail you some maple cookies.
Right? Yeah, I still got fucking dude. I fucking probably ate 3 out of this fucking box. My God. Before we close out, I wanted to remind everybody that starting next week, we're going to launch Joey's new monthly. Joey's new monthly segment. Joey, want to tell him about it?
Nope. It's gonna be a secret.
Even though we told him about it last week?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then. Since he wants to keep it a secret, I guess we should continue on.
Oh, God.
Nope. I'm too sleepy. I can't. I'm so tired.
Yeah, it's about 11 o'clock there with you, Joe.
Yep. I've been up since like 4 this morning, and I went to bed at 2.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell them real quick.
Please
Follow
do.
Your Star Award starts next week. Every month, we're going to give out a Follow Your Star Award, which basically, Joey, what's Follow Your Star mean?
Follow your star. Do the
There we
thing
go.
that you're doing that you like. Let your heart light shine.
Yeah. So we're gonna pick once a month. We're gonna pick a person who we feel that made an impact by doing what they were trying to achieve or what they pushed through it's an award. Joey will explain more about it next week when he announces the first recipient of the award when he's more awake, I guess.
Yep.
So yeah, there's that. Hey Joey.
Yes.
Every week our listeners could catch Geek Cast Joe here on this freaking show. But if for some odd reason, which I know it's true, they don't get enough Geek Cast Joe here on this freaking show, where else can they go?
They can go to find some more Geekcast Joe to the Geekcast Live podcast at gcl.ninja. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, Twitter, and YouTube by searching Geekcast Live.
Nice.
I'm so sad I'm not on SoundCloud anymore. It completely throws off my cadence.
Okay.
Just saying.
I'm just throwing it out there. Well, fucking get back on. Why are you off SoundCloud?
Because they're a sucky platform and charge too much money for their product.
Oh, makes sense. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter by searching This Freaking Show. And make sure you rate and review us on iTunes while you're there playing our fucking podcast. Just give us a rating and review. It helps us out and makes us a lot better because we know that you love us. And if I know people like I know us, we reward you and we get rewarded. We're like children, really. Pat us on the fucking back and we'll take the garbage out, whatever. Also keep in mind that I am starting up a new podcast, JFW Podcast, Just Freaking Wrestling. It's all about wrestling. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram just by searching JFW Podcast. We are launching a website shortly, so make sure you stay in touch for that. Also, make sure you go to the thisfreakingshow.com website where you can learn about us. You can get in touch with us. Make sure you use the hashtag FreakinSane on Twitter if you want to tell us a comment or concern you have. Also, if you know of a band you want us to promote on the show, let us know about that too, and we will do that. As always, I am Travesty.
I'm Awkward Colin.
And I'm Geekcast Joe.
Thank you for listening to another episode of This Freaking Show. I'm out.